there's been this deep conversation about hip hop is falling off. This put it right back into the spotlight, right quick. You know, so
they not like us ringing off everywhere. Did you guys see did you see Questlove getting roasted for his comments about everything that's been going on the past 2 or 3 months?
Yes.
You saw that, bro?
I saw specifically him getting roasted about
his take on Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, about the sample source.
Okay, so
I saw he had another one where he didn't have comments on it. It was he turned something about the beef.
Yeah. So
it was a lot of stuff. So
there's his initial comment about the actual Drake and Kendrick joint is what I saw. Somebody sent this to me. A lot of people were going off on him because it was so, I guess, positive in terms of
yeah, damn that positivity.
Yeah, that did sound bad when I said it's like I'm anti-positive right now.
We don't need that in hip hop.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Our numbers do not do well when we go with positivity.
Death, kill, kill, murder, murder. Let's go.
Yeah, come on now,
bro. And
I thrive off negativity.
Come on, man.
Man, listen. Questlove
feed the hate.
He clearly wasn't going on this one. There's a video too. I got in the video section on for what he said about Hit 'Em Up. But he said nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children and actual facts be damned.
The going trend is the I can't even say really originators, but a lot of the older cats in the hip hop game did not care for this Drake and Kendrick back and forth. And some of their reasoning is so whack because they use the same elements that a lot of the other rappers used
back in the day.
Yep. So it's almost like now that you're sitting on the porch with your lemonade and iced tea mix, now you don't want to hear that, and it hurts your ears to hear pretty much the same thing that they were doing. Now, granted, and I think we discussed this last week, we have outside voices, that being the internet and social media, which is making it louder than what it is or what they put out. But it actually, in terms of a beef, it's the exact same formula that a lot of people have followed since back in the day. And I don't understand why people were jumping out the window and not liking it based off of this. I don't know. It almost irritates me.
We talked about the hip hop receipts and all that last week.
Yeah. And this comment right here didn't help when he says the same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't a part of the problem. He's like, hip hop is truly dead.
No, man.
So he's basically saying it's a contradiction to, I guess, champion this thing because we'll be the same people that are saying RIP if somebody actually get hurt.
And then they was cooking Quest too because there's like this is the same cat that was back in the takeover on the Unplugged performance saying this same thing, saying this, and he was backtracking like, if I had to choose now, I probably wouldn't have did that. Well, I mean, you did it, and you were smiling while you were doing it. So, come on, man. I believe Jay-Z and Nas rapped about the same stuff, right?
Yeah. It got very personal. Yeah, disrespectful.
It all gets personal. Like like what like one of the records to the Break of Dawn that LL Cool J did. I referenced a few. That is he is going off. Yeah, and he is saying things that should hurt your feelings.
Yes.
No Vaseline.
Even in battle rap, these dudes are investigating their opponent, trying to dig up dirt on them. So when they go into this battle rap arena, they have stuff to say about them that are actually facts.
Look, feature 50 Cent said and back down.
Yeah.
Come on now. Like, let's not act like this is something new that popped up 2 or 3 weeks ago.
This ain't nothing new.
What you got, Lo?
I don't know. It's weird.
What, it's the reactions?
Yeah, it's just a weird, like the Questlove's, everything you guys talking about is just like a weird thing to say.
Terry makes a good point about the age group, how people are responding. That's a very good point. You think about it. Everybody got something to say. Gilly, Mace, Cam, and it's not too
Ed Lover.
It's not in much favor for what's been going on. It seems to have a negative.
Look, maybe it's because they're looking at some of the things we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years, behind, some of the beef, specifically stuff coming out of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
But,
that's different.
But way different. Once again, but overall, like, Pac didn't die behind Hit 'Em Up.
Nah.
Big didn't die behind, you know, with some little slick stuff he said that was towards Pac, whether y'all want to believe it or not. You know, Nipsey, he didn't die behind, you know, any kind of diss record. You know, in the most vicious records that we think about, we talk about No Vaseline. We talk about, you know, To the Break of Dawn. Nobody died. No, it was just bad feelings. And now, you know, LL Cool J and Ice-T see each other. Now they're multi-millionaires and they laugh about it.
Yeah, True. Common and West Side Connection had a back and forth.
I mean, Common was
DJ Quick.
Common was in the Ice Cube movie.
Yeah, DJ Quick and MC8. And DJ Quick's diss record, we don't talk about it, but Dollars and Cents was crazy against MC8.
What he said, the G ain't in you.
Come on, man. He went off on that album.
Ice Cube, for Cube and Common to Circle the Block, not only did he put him in Barbershop, they had a song on the soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, DJ Quick and what's the name got songs together?
Yeah.
Hell, in the I'm Not a Gangster song DJ Quick put out, he was pretty much telling Quick that, hey, if we can bury the hatchet, we might be able to do some music.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody goes, and I understand Tupac and Biggie were killed,
right?
And they were beefing at the time. But to your point, it wasn't behind.
It wasn't rap beef. It was. He got into it with a Crip from Compton that had nothing to do with hip hop.
Nothing to do with it.
And then, you know, there's so many, you know.
And if anything, it was more so the media than them two going back and forth.
Gassing the whole
like when
thing.
you saw the picture of Biggie and Puffy and it said East versus West. I'm
on
like,
the vibe,
yeah. I remember seeing that. I was like, well, this is I saw that as like maybe a 19 or 20-year-old thought this is sort of irresponsible.
Yeah.
Can I have some more context behind Questlove?
You want to play the video?
There's another video where he was talking about the Hit 'Em Up diss record and why he didn't like it. But
no, his problem.
This was more about Drake and Kendrick on this article.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I think that's why I don't really have anything to say, because it doesn't sound like something Questlove would say. Normally when he talks, it's like pretty reasonable, and I'm, you know, it's like something that I'm like, okay, I can agree with him on, but this one I don't
Is this the one where he's talking about how like the beat to Hit 'Em Up is like smooth jazz and like
it was more so the song that he sampled. I think he was more so against that.
Yeah, let's run that.
I would respect Tupac's Hit 'Em Up if his music tracking was better. This sounds to me like
hot takes. Here we go.
No, this sounds like it. Look, I've already gone on the internet and spoke, but Hit 'Em Up to me is disqualified not because of the overly
vitriol.
Yeah, the misogynist. Like, forget all that. It's like, dude, you're rhyming over like smooth jazz dinner music.
Dennis Edwards.
Like literally.
I'm sorry, that's hard.
Luther Vandross can sing over this.
He's not lying.
I mean, but it was still hard. I mean, that's kind of what made it hard a little bit, honestly. But that's the typical thing that an East Coast cat would say.
Or just somebody, look, like one of my favorite Nas songs is Second Childhood, and he's rhyming over a P.B. Bryson song.
Man, it's true.
So let's not, you could go through so many hip hop songs that are talking about realness and stuff from the streets, and they're rhyming over like literally Quiet Storm records.
Yes.
You know, and and you wouldn't say that, about, you know, because you wouldn't say that about the Eric B and Rakim record that uses that same beat. You know, I'm just saying I don't know where he was going with that, or maybe that was his hot take for the day. But come on, Questlove.
Yeah, come on. That was irresponsible to be Questlove saying some stuff like that.
Oh, this is probably about how nobody won the war.
So so there's this one too, where he said nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match. Level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children, and actual facts be damned. Same audience wanting blood will soon put RIP posts up. Okay, hip hop's truly dead. Okay, that's the one that I had read, but I was
chill. Questlove, this ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it at all, man.
There's clearly a winner.
Honestly, there's not clearly a winner, because people are literally still going back and forth today about this.
Yeah, I think there is.
And his
clearly a winner.
What is it, 2 weeks old now?
That's really the last track. Yeah, it's really only a week. It was last Sunday.
A week and a couple days.
Was it? Damn, time moves fast.
Hey, Long, can you click on his profile, because I can't see it on this computer, but I think he does a clarification
of
what we just talked about.
There's always a clarification.
I think this is in response to the Dennis Edwards stuff.
So we are clear. I said I'd never liked the interpolation when music's replay a sample of Don't Look Any Further on Hit 'Em Up. I said nothing disparagingly.
There we go.
Thank you very much. About Dennis Edwards or Pac. Y'all turning this into a weird game of telephone. The interpolation is what I'm talking about. Don't take my stuff out of context.
Well, it's not taking it out of context when you're pretty much saying that you have to eliminate Hit 'Em Up out of the categories because he's rapping over jazz.
Because you don't like it.
Because you don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's not taking it out of context.
Maybe the clip that we saw specifically, there's more to it that he's referring to, but to your guys' point, that thing that we are talking about specifically, this doesn't cover anything.
No, it doesn't.
So
it doesn't.
Nah, man. I mean, you said it. You got to stand on it at the end of the day.
Yeah,
he said.
I'm guessing the quiet storm.
Yeah, I mean, he said yes. It's quiet. He said I could hear Luther Vandross on. Well, I'm sure you could probably hear Luther Vandross on the original version as well.
Come on, man.
You know,
I mean, was like, what's the name? 3 6 Mafia have plenty of samples that were originally R&B songs.
Late Night Tip is a Lisa Fisher. How can I ease the pain?
You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about here, man? This is part of rap.
Good call.
I mean, Funkdafied and Big Papa are between the sheets.
Yeah.
So are you mad at hip hop for sampling now? Because that's kind of the game of hip hop. One of the elements is sampling music
and taking it and doing
something different. So
I guess this was too smooth.
What Pac did to that song actually did it justice. And not to say it was a bad song, and I still like the original song, but something about what he did on Hit 'Em Up was just fire on that to me.
Let's go even further here because he's actually got more words outside the big black screen over there. He says,
what you trying to say?
Exactly what I said. So he said, let's be clear on the context I was speaking on. Woke up to a grip of what did Dennis Edwards Pac do to you? I'm speaking of the musical backdrop of that record. Still mostly not a fan of diss records, mostly because of having lived in that period, the 90s. I've never seen any good results from hip hop beef. And yeah, you don't have to remind me of my role on Unplugged. That wasn't one of my brightest most. I feel like we kind of talked about this a little bit, right? And had a redo, I probably would have had not done that, right?
I think that's cap.
Yeah, that's cap.
He said, I mean, I know I'm old, but y'all, damn, I'm not trying to be pound cake, respectable politics Smurf over here yelling, get off my lawn every 14 seconds.
That was a Bill Cosby reference.
I know battling is part of the sport of hip hop. If there was a history of cats just keeping it on wax, I'd have been popcorn along with y'all, but as most battles, it leaves the MCs and their crews, and then suddenly outside world gets involved. Those were the dark times if you were there. I mean, it's bad enough we're stuck in the health scare era of hip-hop where a majority of people are not making it to 55 years old.
That's true.
But to take step backwards to even flirt with the idea of going to an era which turning 30 was a major challenge, again, if you're my age, and we're there, it's triggering. So that is what I meant by no one won this battle.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm still not feeling his take on that.
That still gives me
old
like
man
high horse vibes. And you know, we love, like, Quest is a legend. Like,
but
let's
like
not
I
get
said,
it twisted.
The people whose lives were lost, it wasn't, who didn't make it 30. It wasn't rap that did it to them.
Yeah, I can't rock with this take, man. I
feel like, Terry, I think you and Jay maybe weeks ago when you said there's a difference between like rap beef and street beef.
Yes.
And, like this Drake and Kendrick thing is not like street stuff. It's just rap beef, so it's different than...
These dudes ain't about to take it nowhere other than what we
at
just
all.
Heard.
At all.
Like Drake's already planning to release his get ready for the summer. Who knows what Kendrick is doing? I mean, because he's elusive. He just whenever he's ready
Drake
to
probably
put
got
it
another
out.
Sexy Red song on the way.
Come on, man.
Kendrick gave us this is the in between for his next album.
Yeah.
We weren't going to hear nothing for another 3 years. Who knows?
Hey.
And everybody was like, and that's been the consensus on my timeline. Y'all need to thank Drake for bringing him out because we never would have heard from him if Drake didn't make him come out.
Is that how they sound?
That's exactly how they sound when I read it.
I think the Quest thing though, it's just like. I don't want to say it's a surprising take necessarily. I feel like obviously he can speak on whatever he wants to speak on. He was there. He's qualified. He's a part of the
He's entitled to his opinion.
For sure. But I feel like that's just his opinion. And I feel like he's trying to clarify to really get us to really jump onto this. It almost feels like respectability politics, even though he kind of sends it. Like it kind of feels. I
wish he
like
would have just not tried to justify it to people.
But he's justifying.
That's how you feel.
He's justifying it. He's going back twice. There's this, and then there's the long excerpt that Lone read. And maybe that's twice.
But I don't think either of them helped him.
No, I agree. Like,
and maybe I've missed it somewhere along the way. But we're just now hearing about you saying, "Oh, I didn't feel so great about doing Jay-Z's Unplugged." I'm like, all right, man.
Terry said he's back there cheesing.
He was back there cheesing. He loved his job.
That's cap. That's cap. There's no way you miss out on that opportunity.
And then did the Madison Square Garden. Like, if you had a problem with what Jay-Z did, you certainly wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, man.
Come on, Quest. That's cap, bro.
I know you with Jimmy Fallon and all that now.
Yeah, you got it.
Which is dope.
Yeah.
Come on,
we're glad to see you up there.
Come on, son.
But that's cap, Quest, on the Jay-Z part. I ain't going.
Man, I ain't going for that one.
I don't know. I think in general, like I think we talked about this last week, but I think in general, the beef, if you want to even call it a beef, the back and forth, I think was generally good for the state of hip hop in the sense that it did bring to the biggest names out, flexing bars back and forth and showcasing some of the stuff that hip hop's all about.
Both of them highly skilled, both of them definitely in the pocket, both of them versatile with what they released. So all that's good to me.
And it broke up that log jam that was all Taylor Swift songs on the Billboard Hot 100.
And also one thing I don't know if we mentioned, but there's been this deep conversation about hip hop is falling off. Mm-hmm. This put it right back into the spotlight, right quick. Mm-hmm. So
they not like us ringing off everywhere.
Yeah.
I was in Kentucky this past weekend. One of my childhood friends, my boy Jared, Jared, got his master's. Shout out to him. He got his master's degree.
Congrats.
And the first record his wife throws on in the basement is They Not Like Us. And I'm like, this really is a thing. I'm in Kentucky. This really is a thing.
I've seen videos.
I know it's everywhere.
I've seen videos of people dropping this at parties and like everybody's singing along to it and blends and
they know the bars. They know all of it. Like people are singing the whole record, bro.
To Jay's point, this legit might be song of the summer.
Yeah.
So
and it's probably going to extend because Budden brought up a valid point.
Joe Budden.
If this came out
HBCUs.
during the HBCU season,
oh man.
I've seen probably 5 videos of like black people pulling out trombones and trumpets and singing along with it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, yep.
Yeah,
The Circle City Classic
it's
is
not going away. It's not going away
this year.
They're getting sheet music on this right now.
Hey, Jackson State, FAMU, the bands are about to go nuts on this.
Nuts.
Party's about to be crazy. Yes, videos will surface. This is about to ring off throughout the whole summer.
This might be the year I go to the Circle City Classic. It's been a minute. I need to show face. I just want to see Battle of the Bands, man. That's all I want to see, honestly.
Yeah. So to kind of close this topic up, I think,
Quest is wrong on this one.
I can't rock with you, Quest.
I mean, and it's like you didn't have to do all this explaining. Like if you said what you said, you know what you meant.
Stand on it.
Stand on it.
And like you have enough stripes in the game to where you can just stand on it.
That's just not
because honestly, all these extra paragraphs aren't really helping.
Multiple.
It's a lot of tap dancing going on.
I understand. You don't want to mess up your political connects. We get it.